Ms. Regal, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Andrus,
Here.
Mr. Detmar,
Here.
Mr. Eichfeld,
Here.
Mr. Carabin,
Present.
Ms. Magnata. Ms. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Welch,
Here.
Dr. Paxad,
Present.
and President Mrs. Baxter. Seven present, two absent.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion. Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion is approved. We had an executive session today for the purpose of ESB contract, health and safety plan, and SVA contract matters. May I have a motion for the minutes for meeting of October 26, 2021?
So move. Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion is approved. We have nothing under recognition. Presentation, Lehigh Valley Academy Regional Charter School. Please.
I don't know if everybody can see let's see. I'm gonna have to go. Bye. This will work. Maybe not. I'll do it, yeah. Oh, actually. I'll put it on the inside. Yeah. Thank you. Blind as a bat today. Thank you. I apologize.
There we go.
So Lehigh Valley Academy, many of you are probably familiar with our school. We've been around for about 20 years, since 2002. So we're currently located just off Shanersville Road in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We're established in 2002, and we've remained true to the intent of the charter law. We're a K-12 international baccalaureate school, and we're currently located in flexible commercial space that has really accommodated our growth over the years. So back in 2002, we had 170 students and 13 staff members, and we've significantly grown since then. So right now our enrollment is at 1804 as of October 1. We have 19 sending school districts, and you can see the number of students from each of the districts. So Bethlehem Area School District, Allentown, and Easton are our three largest sending districts. And we, as of October 1, had 33 students from Saucon Valley School District. Our planned full enrollment is at 1950, which would mean that we would have 150 students at each grade level. Right now, our enrollment at most of the grade levels, K through 8, is at 150. And then our numbers are a little bit lower, around the 120 mark in the high school. And we have 99 seniors this year. Our admissions process follows charter laws. We have the information sessions, a lottery process, and the waiting list. And we're excited, after a year of all virtual, shifting to a combination of information sessions that are virtual as well as in person this year. In terms of our enrollment, just to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of our demographics, we are a very diverse, truly diverse school in terms of race and ethnicity. We're about 10% ELLs, about 40% social economically disadvantaged. I suspect that that number is actually a little bit higher. This year, we're offering that summer program for lunches, so everybody gets free lunch, so there's no real reason to complete the application. So the 40% is the families that actually completed the applications. So we do anticipate, our numbers have been closer to like 47% in the past, and I think that would probably be a more accurate number, but that's the official one. Almost 14% special ed and half female and half male. So the IB program is really not a curriculum. It's a research-based way of learning and teaching and incorporating both the local and national standards. So we do teach the PA core curriculum. Our students engage in inquiry, action, and reflection on a local and globally significant issues across the curriculum. And then our assessments are internationally benchmarked at the high school level, allowing graduates to continue their studies anywhere in the world. And we have students that continue on at universities in Europe or Canada. LVA's teachers receive professional development through their IB-approved workshops and from the IB coordinators in the school. This, with COVID, a lot of that training has happened virtually, but we are looking forward to future trainings being back in person again. As the students move through the 3 programs, they learn to research, share their increased understanding with the community, and present questions, reflect on traditional academic knowledge, as well as apply these skills to original ideas. Today, what students know is no longer nearly as important as how they learn, how they adapt to change and to the different styles, views, and approaches, and how they work together to solve common challenges. You can look most things up on the internet, but you've got to know whether or not that is good information or not. The focus is on critical engagement with challenging ideas, and it's one of the values of the progressive thinking of the past while remaining open to future innovation. So really understanding everything that came before, but being open and looking for new solutions to problems in the future. So we are the only authorized IB school in the area and one of 4 in the United States that offer all 4 IB programs. The primary years program in the elementary grades, K through 6, the middle years program in grades 7, 8, and then 9 and 10, and the diploma and career-related programs for our 11th and 12th graders. Over the years, we've received our authorization in the early years of our program. So we started with the primary years program back in 2006, and most recently were reevaluated in 2019. The middle years program were authorized back in 2008 and most recently reevaluated in 2017. And then the diploma program was authorized in 2007 and most recently reevaluated in 2018. The career-related program is actually a new program that IB came out with probably in like 2016, 17, and we got our authorization in 2018. So we were really happy to be able to offer that full continuum to our students. And then the next round of evaluations, they're actually going to combine all 4 of our programs into one visit, and we'll have a full continuum visit in 2024. So we have that to look forward to. The primary years program in a nutshell is for kindergarten through 6th grade. The goal is for the students to become active, caring, lifelong learners who demonstrate respect for themselves and others. The students develop the capacity to participate in the world around them. The focus is on the development of the whole child. And then the primary years program really brings that international mindedness to the school community. So it's really looking at it from a global perspective. The students study 6 units of inquiry at each grade level that are based on the Pennsylvania Social Studies and Science standards, and then the standards are extended to include a more global perspective. We have the transdisciplinary approach across the different subject areas. Our students all take Mandarin Chinese in kindergarten to 1st grade, and then Spanish or Mandarin Chinese in grades 2 through 6. And then the end of the primary years program is the exhibition, a 6th grade project, where the students apply what they've learned over the last 7 years. And that's just an example of one of the units. The middle years program is for grades 7 through 10. It's also a challenging framework of 8 subject groups, and it really encourages the students to make connections between their studies and the real world. They have to complete action and service hours in the 7th and 8th grade. That's part of the curriculum in 9th and 10th grade. That's in the individual responsibility of the students. And then again, that program ends with what is known as the personal project, which is a independent project that the students develop at the end. And it can be anything from learning another language or doing research. So one of the MYP programs is, or the boat project is one of the projects that they work on. And then the career-related program, which is the newest piece, is for grades 11 and 12. Lehigh Valley Academy is an IB for all school. So most IB schools in the US as well as around the world have IB as one track, kind of like AP, and you have to test into it. When we decided to become an IB school in 2002, it was really important to us for all students to have access to this curriculum. So there is no testing in. This is what everybody has. This is the program that we offer to all of our students, whether you're EL or you're special ed or a regular education student. The 11th and 12th grade program is actually a 2-year program of study and allows the students to balance the rigor of the diploma courses with the career-related study work. So this coursework has currently has 2 pathways. So you choose either the biomedical or the engineering pathway, and that's through Project Lead the Way courses. And then the students also take 3 diploma program courses. So like an English course, a math class, and a language class, for example. It also includes service learning, the reflective project, language development, and personal and professional skills. The diploma program, which is the other option the students have in 11th and 12th grade, is also, again, available to anybody who chooses it. It's also a 2-year program of study and aims to develop the students who have breadth and depth of knowledge. This framework is with 6 subject groups. So the students have 6 diploma program courses. So in the CP, they take the Project Lead the Way classes and 3 diploma program classes. In the DP, they take all 6 diploma program classes, which is basically like taking 6 advanced placement courses. So they take 2 to 3 at the standard level, and then the other 3 to 4 at the higher level. And then that program involves CAS, which is creativity, action, and service. They have to complete 150 hours of that. A theory of knowledge course, which is really a philosophy class. And then they have to write a 4,000 word extended essay or thesis paper. The diploma program creates independent learners who feel prepared for post-secondary education. And the feedback we get from our students when they graduate is that they are well prepared for university. And we actually just had our first doctor. She's actually, and I'm trying to think of the term now because she's an attorney and a doctor. So, and just graduated. So one of our graduates. Many universities recognize it and give credit for it, so you can earn some general ed requirements at the college level for your IB exams. And the IB encourages critical thinking. The students, it really helps them develop those time management skills when you have those 6 academically rigorous classes. And so the students do feel very well prepared at the college level to be able to balance, all the responsibilities that go along with being a college student. The testing is rigorous, backed by high-level evidence, and is based on performance set against standards. So the same exam that our students take here is the same exam that is administered to students all over the world. And the diploma program has been around for more than 30 years at this point. So the exams are, in order to be eligible for the full IB diploma, the students have to complete 14 different assessments over the 2 years in the diploma program and as many as 16 exams in May of their senior year. They also have to complete multiple assessments per subject, oral and written, to show their full knowledge and understanding. The positive is it's not just once and done, like in terms of you get one shot at it, you actually get to show what you know in multiple ways. The students also complete the extended essay, which is that 4,000 word essay, and compile the CAS hours. And then all of the students at LVA complete this work, whether they examine or not. So Lehigh Valley Academy does not require the students to actually sit for the IB exams. But everybody completes all of the assignments with that. We did just recently for 2021, one of the things that we instituted a couple of years ago is that LVA covers the cost, like the AP exams, there's a cost associated with IB exams. It's about $700 to take the full IB diploma courses. So we offer some scholarships, but we've also really feel that it was important for our students to feel like everybody everybody was able to take this exam and could be successful with the exams. So Lehigh Valley Academy pays for students to take the IB English exam. Last year, I believe we had 86 students participate in the IB English exam, and I think 74 of them passed the exam. So, and that included special education and ELD students as well. So we're really excited to have this opportunity to show that it is accessible to everybody. It's not easy and it's hard work, but it is accessible. So I have a list of the percentages up in terms of the results for the IB exams, and I'll be happy to share that with all of you. Moving on to kind of the other piece of my presentation this evening. Let's see, will it let me open this? Yes. So LVA has been around for about 20 years, and during that time, we have operated out of the space right here, and actually most of that time, from the 2002 to 2003 school year, where we're over off of Bridle Path Road with the Sisters of St. Francis, and then in 2003, we moved to this location off of Valley Center Parkway. You can see 22 right here, and then Shainersville Road up here. And LVA is located in these three buildings in the corporate center. We have about 150,000 square feet. We're really excited about the opportunity in the next year and a half to be able to actually relocate. So take Valley Center Parkway out to Shainersville Road and follow Shainersville Road up here to the FL Schmidt building, which is right across the street from Wawa. It's we're currently in about 150,000 square feet in the three buildings, plus a 10,000 square foot modular. The FL Schmidt building is a 216,000 square foot. It's technically two buildings that are connected on 3 stories. And so we're really excited about being able to purchase this property and relocate the school there for the start of the 23-24 school year. So we're looking to, if we can get the move approved by both Saucon Valley and Bethel Mary School District, we would close on the property in January or February of 22, and then use the year and a half to the summer of 2023 to fit out the space to meet our needs. So let's see if I can exit out of this, because I did actually bring if you are interested, I did actually bring the floor plan. So the FL Schmidt building, and I don't know if you can see if I can make it a little bit bigger. You can see it from here. The FL Schmidt building from the top, like I said, is really 2 buildings. There's then what we call the North Building, which is facing Shainersville Road, and then the South Building down here, which is actually facing Avenue C. And the way that we're looking at fitting it out is to have the North Building be our K-5 elementary school, and then the South Building to house our 6 through 8, and then 9 through 12 middle and high school. So on the first floor, the ground level of the K-5 building, we would have our kindergarten classrooms, the library, the health room, and the art room. And then across the way, our first grade classrooms, the cafeteria, some multi-purpose spaces, the music room, as well as some special education and pull-out spaces. So we would have the elementary cafeteria on one side, the high school cafeteria on the other side. There is no interaction. So the K-5 students would stay in this hallway, the middle school students would stay in this hallway. The second floor would then house second and third grade in the north building, and special education, office, pull-out, small group pull-out spaces, lots of those. And then the main floor here is then 6th through 8th grade, as well as some administrative offices. And then 4th and 5th grade on the top floor, the third floor. And then the high school building would be, or the high school programming would all occur on the third level of it's actually the way the building's designed. The top floor is the largest floor. It kind of, it's almost like a funnel. It gets smaller and smaller from floor to floor. So, and that is my presentation for this evening. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just going to open the floor to see if any of my colleagues have any questions for you.
Sure.
Yeah, Mr. Eichel?
So you said both school districts has to approve this.
As part of our charter. So technically, whenever moving requires approval from the school district, it's a change to the charter.
So I expect that you won't have any problem with us, but I do expect that you will have problems with Bethlehem. So how will that?
We have a meeting with them. We've been working with them, and we have a meeting with them tomorrow to determine on Thursday to see what the next steps are with them. So
Yeah, and
it is,
this is just, I think we are best served if we don't sort of like get into the relationship between
Right.
LVA and Bethlehem, and they're going to figure it out. So let's just
Exactly.
focus on the presentation today for today.
So at this point, and part of the reason, or the main reason that we're looking to make this move is that we're looking to move from leased space to purchase space. So in the end, it'll be a cost reduction, more space for less money, which is a benefit to the students. And we're staying, from a Stockton Valley standpoint, we're less than a mile from one location to the other, so it doesn't impact your transportation. It's minimal impact on any of the school districts.
Mark, could you just give a quick brief summary of why this presentation is happening and what is expected of the board? That would probably clear up.
Sure.
I have a
So-
question.
Yeah,
So-
we'll get to that. Just one second. We are not done with questioning yet, Ms. Miller. Just 1 minute.
That's a good question. If you recall, in December of 2019, the board actually approved a new charter for the school. That was in anticipation of a different move that was potentially going to be made by the charter school. That did not come to fruition. As a result, the previous charter, which was approved, I guess, circa 2017, is soon expiring. I think it expires actually in January of this year.
It expires December 31st of this year.
So the process will be to renew the charter if the board approves that at a subsequent meeting. This was simply to give an update of the school for both board and community purposes. But I would expect that at the next meeting in November, there would be a charter approval, very similar, in my opinion, to what was approved in 2019, because that charter document addressed some of the, what I'll call, real estate issues that we just wanted some protective language in. So that is really the next step, would be approving a renewed charter in 2 weeks.
Ms. Miller?
So my question is, I think, somewhat related. So as of right now, we approved you to a relocation part of it. So you are going to be asking, one, for a renewal of your current charter, and then do you come back and get a second approval for the move, or is the new charter going to have the move component in? And part two, can you give us some expenditure activity? We know how much you were going to spend on the purchase of the land and the build. How much is if you're able to say so, how much is this going to cost to purchase this building?
I'm going to ask Mr. Fitzgerald to answer the first question.
Sandra, to your first question, the answer would be this would be the only time that they would come forward to have the district approve the possibility of a move during the next charter.
And Ms. Nazir, you
So we'll
wanna
be doing
answer the
both
second
at the
question?
same time? So the charter will have the new address on it?
It will not I will have to check to see how the previous charter addressed it, but I'm not so sure that the previous address is on or the current address is on the charter. I'd have to confirm.
Would you like to add anything?
So at this point, I can tell you that we're looking to purchase the building for $15.5 million. And then we are currently working on the cost of the fit out expenses. So the expectation is that it will be less than what it would cost to build a new building in the middle of a cornfield. But I don't have an exact dollar amount for you at this time. I'll be happy to share once I do.
And the other question was the address in the charter that we are approving. This is the current address or the future address or both of them?
Yeah,
potentially?
so when we originally came before you, we were middle of a charter and we were looking at, because we were in the middle of a charter, we went with a new charter. So to answer the question, yes, the address I believe is listed in the charter. And in this case, because our charter period of time would actually cover through 2023 and beyond, it would need to include the one address for between now and summer of 23, and then the new address as of 23 through the end of the charter.
So there is no additional approval from this board that would be necessary at that time? That's your position?
That is my understanding. If you approve the move as part of the charter application, yes.
Okay. Ms. Miller, do you have any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to let Mr. Andrews.
Just a follow up to the last question. So you have a number for the purchase price. You're still working on the price for the fit out.
We're in the middle of due diligence. and
You
getting the
anticipate that aggregate total is less than the cornfield site.
Yes,
Is it also less than your rental amounts at the current
Yes.
place? So it's still cost savings.
yes.
Just to clarify, the saving does not go back to the sending district, not that we are asking. It goes back to your operation and
Now,
for the betterment of the kids. Yeah.
Exactly. So in the end, from Saucon Valley standpoint, the money that follows the child does not change no matter what we build or how much money we spend. But the goal is to reduce the cost of the building so that we can spend more money on educating kids and actually running the school.
Mr. Carabin.
Yeah, I don't know if you would know off the top of your head, but we have 33 students from Saucon Valley going. Do you know what grade levels these students would basically?
I am really
Um,
sorry, but I do not have that information. I can get that information for you, but I did not
Only
look
because
that
you
up.
brought it up this evening. I was.
Yeah. No,
Just
I
curiosity.
should have. I looked at the total numbers. I did not look at what grade levels they come from.
And just one other fun fact. The school actually started in 1999. For 3 years, they worked on getting it open. I don't even know if you were there yet.
I was hired in 2002.
Okay, but I want to commend you on your presentation because I saw your very first presentation when the school opened. And I think you did a very good job tonight also. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I actually have an audio recording of that. And
Oh,
one of these
good.
days, I'm going to listen to what I thought the school was going to look like years from now. So before it
Always
actually
useful.
existed. So thank you, Mr. Carabin.
Okay, any
Get a
other
copy of the
questions?
presentation.
I'm sorry?
Can we get a copy of the presentation?
I can email that to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Or I can provide it a hard copy if you prefer.
Email,
Okay,
kill enough trees.
okay.
Other questions?
I have a question.
Oh, yeah. Mr.
Um,
Detron.
I'm just kind of curious. I thought I remember that you had planned for your new building to have a gymnasium or multiple gymnasiums. Obviously, your current plan, at least the way I saw it doesn't do that. How do you do phys ed?
We are looking to have the plan actually include an addition of a gym. So we're trying to work out what that looks like. Is it an actual construction? Is it some kind of, field house, something like that? But we will need gym space for our gym classes, yeah.
Might be good to have that in the presentation, even if it's undefined, just so that
Absolutely.
people are aware that that's out there.
Okay, other questions? Yeah, we may have a few other questions that we'll send you through
Not
Ms.
a problem.
Velocity. But yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
the presentation, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
having me tonight. Thank you.
Okay, superintendent's report, Ms. Velocity.
There's no report at this time, Dr. Paxton.
So we had a tradition of asking the high school students, one of them to give a report. I see that Ms. Avia Weber, right, is here. So would you like to come give us a little report about what's going on at the schools?
I would love to. Yes. So hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Avia Weber. I'm a senior here representing Student Government Association. I currently serve as the vice president, and I'm just going to give you a little news update about what's going on in the high school. I have it sectioned into academics, athletics, and activities. So after each section, I can ask if you have any questions, and I would be more than happy to elaborate on them. So for our academics, we just finished our first marking period. Woohoo! And now we're on to our second one. For our Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Awards, 9th and 10th grade, congratulations to our very own Ava Reel and Madison Laszlo on their selection to represent Saucon Valley at Hobie's Community Leadership Workshops, which I actually had the opportunity to be a junior facilitator. So it was really fun to see them learn leadership skills throughout the weekend, and they were amazing as always. And then also we wanted to send out a huge congratulations to our VOTEC students for being inducted into the National Technical Honor Society during a special ceremony at Bethlehem Area Vocational Technical School on October 14th. Those people were Forrest Sweat, Jacob Huber, Miranda Seeger, Brooke Brinker, Christopher Fry, Shane Yardumian, Braden Rupert, Brady Waterman, Jake Jones, and Luke Donat. So huge congratulations to them. That's huge. Are there any questions about the academic section? Cool. Yes. And we're also going through our college applications too for seniors, in case you were wondering. So yay, college applications. For our athletics, we just had our state cross-country championship meet at Hershey. We had 3 athletes, Jacob Huber, Emma Sidlow, and Olivia Bortz, who absolutely rocked it. That is one of the hilliest courses I've ever tried out. So kudos to them. They represented Saucon Valley very well. And then also for golf, congratulations to Emma Shelby for winning the silver medal at the district championships. And then she also qualified for states. And then this weekend, band will be competing in nationals at Hershey. And then begins winter sports next week. So that should be very exciting. Any questions about sports?
Good.
Fantastic. All right. And then moving on to our activities. Minithon has been super busy. We recently had a trunk or treat on Thursday, October 28th. And numerous people and groups throughout the community and our school clubs came out to the event, and we accepted donations for the event, and we were able to raise over $750 toward our $35,000 goal throughout the year for pediatric cancer. Also today, I believe we got a recognition for the amount that we raised last year. Ooh, it's even framed, how exciting. So despite COVID last year, Minithon was still very active. Yes, Miss Gary, amazing. But what was so great about it, we raised $26,062.22 despite COVID, all the restrictions, and that all went to pediatric cancer research and helping pay for medical bills. And that was made all because of our amazing admin, our teachers who partook in so many of our crazy events. They were literally swimming in pools for us. So huge thank you to all the students, teachers, and faculty who helped make that possible. $26,000.
Yeah.
I could just add, the main reason that that took place last year is because of this young lady right here and her will to make sure that they raise these funds during the harshest conditions. $26,000 is pretty amazing. So Avia, the credit goes to her.
Great. Yeah,
Very
thank
good
you.
job.
Thank you, Avia. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so then moving along, for SGA, we held a Halloween costume contest for all students on Friday, October 29th. And we are currently planning our turkey bingo, which is very popular in our school. That will be held during the week of Thanksgiving. And then Alumni Day will be held Tuesday, November 16th. The Alumni Association will be honoring Jane Warner of the class of 1977. And then for debate, we have our first debate tomorrow. So good luck to all of our debaters. We will be debating at Penn Ridge. And then for National Honor Society, we are hosting a food and pet donation drive this upcoming week to benefit New Jerusalem Church. Are there any questions about our club activities?
No, good.
All right, great. That's all I have for you. So thank you so much for letting me do this.
Great. Thank you very much, Avia, and thank you, Mr.
Thank you very
Sethi.
much, Avia, for coming. We appreciate it.
Great. Next, we have the courtesy of the floor to visitors on the agenda items only. I see none. Next, presentation of bills. May I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Questions, comments? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion is approved. Next, we have treasurer's report. May I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, the motion is approved. Under education, we have the affiliation agreement with Cedar Crest College. May I have a motion for that?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion is approved. Under personnel, we have professional retirement. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I would just like to commend these two longtime teachers. They've done a great job for us Saucon Valley students and for fellow staff members for years. And I wish them the best.
Yeah, I second Ms. Miller. The good news is that they are not leaving anytime soon. We have a year to still enjoy their presence and services, but nonetheless, any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed, the motion is approved. Item number 2, paraprofessional retirement. Item number 4, medical leave. 5, sabbatical leave. Another 5, long-term substitute extension. 6, part-time support staff. 7, substitute support staff. 8, addition to the 2021-2022 substitute list. 9, dedicated day-to-day substitutes. 10, elementary after-school homework club. 11, 2021-2022 winter coaches. May I have a motion for these items? Items 2, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Just a real quick question. At the very end of the winter coaches, it says junior high. Should that be junior varsity?
9th grade.
Oh, okay, because it says middle school right below, so that's, okay. Thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Just a quick question out of curiosity. Jamie, can you explain the homework club for elementary? How they operate that?
Sure, they do it directly after school. This year, there's no transportation that's provided. And Dr. Nikoloff is looking at, in the past, it's been not necessarily data-driven, but this year, Dr. Nikoloff is working with the staff in order to provide more structured activities and remediation for the students at the elementary school. And they are identifying the students through data that each grade level examines weekly.
May I ask, I'm sorry. May I
Please,
ask
go
a
ahead.
question, please? May I, is there a reason why we're not providing transportation?
At this specific time, we're looking into providing transportation, but right now it is not set up to do so.
Because that
So
might
it-
have a deterrent for certain students for equity purposes that you might want to pursue.
Yes, we are looking into that. Thank you, Mrs. Miller.
Other questions, comments? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motions are approved. Item number 3 under personnel is the hiring of a speech therapist. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Questions, comments? Well, I just want to say welcome to the district, Ms. Laura Hawk. We are hoping that you will start as soon as possible. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, the motion is approved.
Congratulations.
We have nothing under facilities. Under finance, the PTS addendum. May I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? This is about pediatric therapeutic services. Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion is approved. Community updates, Saucon Valley Partnership, Mr. Carey, Mr. Walsh.
Nothing at this time.
Chamber, Mr. Carey.
We haven't had a meeting for a while now.
Okay. I'll skip the foundation and NCC. Bethlehem Votech, Mr. Detmar, Mr. Eichel.
So the VOTEC just closed its books on the last school year with a $1.2 million surplus. The plan is to use that money for the capital reserve fund. And then they're also doing the annual Thanksgiving turkey dinners for folks who need a little extra help at Thanksgiving time. And they're expecting, if all goes well, to serve 70 or 80 families across the 3 sending districts.
Great, thanks. Are you, Mr. Eichel?
Just a couple things. One is they are having some big difficulties with teaching staff. So they're actually offering had us approve offering some bonuses for new hires and paraprofessionals to get more people on board. They're finding that since last year, schedules were disrupted so much that they're having some real issues in the classroom with the behavior of the autistic students. Mainly autistic is where they're having trouble. So they're having a hard time keeping their people. So they're trying to get some more people in. And then they are also offering some additional monies for bus drivers to try to get bus drivers in. So they're just scrambling to get people.
Okay, great. New or old business?
Just have a.
Yes, sir.
one item
I'd like to request an update regarding the equity committee and what the intentions are for the school year.
Ms. Velasquez?
Yeah. Mrs. Miller, we have had to pretty much examine what we need to put on hold for right now. Our staff is very overwhelmed. We're short-handed at district office, but the goals of the equity committee are designated through building and district office. So we're continuing with at least the goals that we can at this point in time, and the meetings we're hoping to pick up come after the holidays.
Okay. Mr. Andrews?
Yeah, just briefly, I had mentioned at an earlier meeting that I thought that we should, with regard to masking, have a more targeted approach with regard to classrooms with immune compromise, especially in the older grades. I think that was referred to the AMPV committee for discussion. There might not have, I don't know, I'm not on the committee. I don't think there's been a meeting perhaps since then, but I would hope that it would come up at a future meeting so we could come back to us soon.
Sure.
You never know with litigation and where the things are with the statewide mandate. I think we should have our plan ready to go, how we'd like it to be, should the litigation throughout the state mandate that we don't need to wait to our next meeting to have our plan in place like we would consider it should be.
Sure. I mean, part of it is that the mandate has a expiration date right now, so we have to do that regardless of the litigation. So I agree with you. Hopefully, this is something that the administration can work on it and bring it back. On a related topic, I think we should also review the quarantine procedures. We have had, I think, hundreds of people who have been designated as close contacts without a single one of them really having tested positive. So I think that, science-based approach that we have tried to adopt at this point really dictates that we revisit that and not exclude people with no reason from the classroom.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Any other topics, new or old business? Okay. Citizens inquiries and comments. Anyone? Yeah, please state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Sarah Hauk, 1761 Arden Lane, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I spoke at the last board meeting about two main issues. And I'll just say that the first was the iPads. So I do appreciate the school taking them away from K through second and ensuring that the apps that showed the explicit content were removed. However, we would still, as parents, like a review of K through second iPads because many of the applications that our kindergartners are, for example, having to write on Seesaw. They're having to learn how to write on the iPads. And it's a little bit teacher dependent upon the usage, but we would like a review of the iPad usage in K through second to make sure it's developmentally appropriate. And the second is really the allegations of curriculum deficiency. And I had related them to both science and social studies. And to be fair, I really haven't seen any improvements. And my daughters happened to be out a couple days last week. And it was the first time they were absent, the first time I got to review their reading books. And I realized many sections were empty. So I am not only concerned about social studies science, I'm concerned about reading and math as well, and the enforcement of our curriculum. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? No? Please.
How you doing tonight?
Good.
Ron Mules, 485 Phillips Street. I'd just like to get up here and last week we had the election and it was exciting and I'd like to thank or congratulate Dr. Shaman Paxad for being on the board.
I'm going to respectfully ask you to not introduce politics at the podium.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This will easily become very ugly. So let's move on to anything else that you wish to share with the board and community.
All right. Well, I won't mention anything, but I'll have to say that I saw a good grassroots effort out there for our community, for our town, for council, for the judges. So I saw a lot of activity by actual parents. And I think I would like to congratulate the parents that were doing all the activities and doing the ground roots work to help keep, we would just like to, I feel that most of the parents here feel that we have a strong, very desirable school district here. It's why most of us are here. It's because of this school district. And we'd like to keep this school district the way it is and stuff. So I think that was shown last Tuesday night. That's where it's at. And I think that we got to keep that going. And on top of that subject, I know you said that you were looking as far as litigation. So I'm keeping on top of that. I mean, I'm totally against the mask mandates for our students. I think it's wrong. I think it hinders them. I think it's bad for them physically and mentally. Also, as you all know, I'm sure through the news, that they have, for emergency use purposes, Pfizer has been approved for 5 to 12-year-olds for the vaccine. And I also saw Biden answering in a news presser or whatever it was. He was answering some questions, and he was also saying that that, he's considering mandating vaccines for students in the schools from 5 to 18. Now, like I say, he's just considering it at this point. And also in that, he was saying how he would want to set up clinics in the schools, to give the free vaccines, throughout the nation. My concern with that is that there's a lot of parents that don't want their kids vaccinated and stuff. And if there's a clinic, but I'm not going to say I'm against setting up a clinic because there's people that would benefit. So if that does come to truth in this district, and if we do decide to do a clinic, or I should say, if the board decides that a clinic's available here, I would like it to be under, and I would like to see if this would be taken under consideration. I would say the only way that any student that's from the age of 5 to 17 would be able to be allowed to get a vaccination would be if he was escorted by a parent to the vaccination site, and the parent, of course, has to have an ID, to make sure. I don't want it to be a written permission because that can be forged. So that's one consideration that I have on that. I'm just ahead of the curve on it.
Yeah, sure.
And stuff. And again, congratulations to everyone.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, great. Moving on, announcements, the future meetings, November 23rd, 7 o'clock here. We have a business meeting. December 7th, we have 2 meetings that will happen one after the other, the reorganization meeting and then the business meeting. And then December 21st at 7 o'clock, again, a business meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?